Michael Thompson was unfairly fined by his HOA for a simple mailbox replacement. A petty battle sparked by Marge Williams, the neighborhood's self-appointed rule enforcer. Marge's relentless bullying stirred tension, turning a minor issue into a personal war. But Michael's cousin Jack, the local postmaster, stepped in with undeniable authority, flipping the whole situation on its head. Just wait until you hear how this small victory led to justice triumphing over control and intimidation. My name's Michael Thompson, and I live in a quiet little suburb just outside Phoenix, Arizona. It's one of those neighborhoods where everyone mostly keeps to themselves but still waves when you pass by. Life was pretty simple, and I liked it that way. One morning, out of nowhere, I found a letter taped to my front door. It was from our HOA, the Homeowners Association. And it wasn't just any letter. They'd slap me with a fine for having an unapproved mailbox. At first, I thought it was a joke. See, a few weeks earlier, I'd swapped out my old, rusty mailbox for a brand new one. It wasn't some wild or flashy design, just a sturdy, modern mailbox that actually keeps the mail dry. Nothing fancy, nothing out of place. But apparently, Marge Williams, the neighborhood's infamous HOA Karen, had taken offense. Marge is that one person who treats the HOA rules like sacred law and loves policing every little thing that doesn't look exactly right to her. She's always watching, always ready to complain. Reading that letter, I was stunned. How does replacing a perfectly functional mailbox turn into this big deal? How did something so small escalate into an official citation and a fine? It felt like I'd accidentally stepped into some bizarre bureaucratic nightmare, and I didn't know how to get out. The whole situation was shocking, frustrating, and honestly, a little ridiculous. Marge didn't just stop at sending me a fine. No, she took it way further. Almost overnight, rumors started circulating around the neighborhood. Whispers about how I was supposedly breaking the rules, making others uncomfortable, or disrespecting the community. None of it was true, but that didn't stop her from spreading it. She showed up at neighborhood meetings with this smug attitude, pushing for more restrictions, more enforcement. It was clear her real goal wasn't about community safety or pride. It was about control. Marge loved the power she held, and she wasn't afraid to use it to make life difficult for anyone who didn't toe the line. I hated it. I hated how she weaponized petty rules to bully people like me, just trying to live peacefully in our own homes. It wasn't about the mailbox anymore. It was about her proving she could push me around. I reached out to the HOA board, hoping someone would see reason, hear me out, but I was met with silence. They wouldn't return my calls, ignored my emails, and acted like I didn't even exist. That unfairness, it burned deep inside me. Every time I passed Marge on the street, I felt that fire grow. How could a simple mailbox turn into a battle for respect? And more importantly, how was I going to fight back when the system seemed stacked against me? Feeling cornered and frustrated, I decided to reach out to my cousin Jack. Jack's not just any cousin. He's the local postmaster, the guy who knows the ins and outs of mail regulations better than anyone else in town. When I told him about Marge's ridiculous citation and how the HOA was making my life difficult, Jack didn't hesitate. He came over, inspected my mailbox thoroughly, and said straight up, "Michael, this mailbox meets every USPS regulation. They can't touch you on this." But Jack didn't stop there. He wrote an official letter to the HOA, laying out the facts clearly. that my mailbox was fully compliant with federal standards, which legally override any neighborhood rules. When the HOA tried to argue or dismiss the letter, I felt a surge of confidence. I wasn't going to back down. I stood my ground firmly, telling them in no uncertain terms that federal law trumps their petty, made-up rules. For the first time, I saw a crack in Marge's smug, untouchable facade. The way she usually carried herself, all high and mighty, faltered under the weight of undeniable truth. That moment, I felt the tide turning. The anger that had been simmering inside me transformed into strength. I wasn't just fighting a mailbox fine anymore. I was standing up to bullying and injustice. And I had an unexpected but powerful ally on my side. After Jack's letter landed on the HOA's desk, things started to change fast. The HOA quietly dropped all the fines against me. No more threats, no more citations, just silence. It was as if the whole ordeal had never happened, but the real victory was how my neighbors began to see Marge for who she truly was. Not some community watchdog, but a petty bully who thrived on controlling others through trivial rules. People started quietly sharing their own stories of how she'd made their lives difficult, and suddenly, I wasn't alone anymore. For me, this wasn't just about winning a fight over a mailbox. It was about standing up to nonsense, refusing to be pushed around, and reclaiming peace in my own home. And Jack? He didn't just help me. He became a bit of a neighborhood hero. His knowledge and authority reminded everyone that sometimes the power isn't in enforcement. It's in understanding your rights and standing firm. In the end, justice wasn't just restored. It felt earned. And I walked away knowing that sometimes standing your ground can change more than just your mailbox.